Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yes, it is the Real Rant Reviewer. I'm back with another rant review here, and joining me for this rant review of Predator 2 guy, 1990, is Big D. Big D, say hello to the crowd.
Hello, hello, hello. It's good to be back.
Haha, yes, sir. Alright, so, Big D, we are going over Predator 2, right? 1990, I believe, yes? Danny
Yeah,
Glover, Gary Busey, right? Predator 2.
Busey.
Now, what are some thoughts? Spoilers ahead, guys. We freestyle our thoughts on the movie, and then we go through the plot. Big D, give me some thoughts on this movie, Predator 2, for you. What'd you think of it?
Good. It's got some good kill scenes. It's an enjoyable movie, and it's one of my favorites as a kid.
As
Good
a kid,
stuff.
how about an adult? Still same effect for you?
Yeah, I still love watching it. Yeah, I just mean like as a kid, it was one of my favorites as well.
Is it better than the first?
No, I don't think it's better than the first one.
Okay,
But I don't think that there's
all right,
certainly some better scenes in it though.
all
It's not.
right.
It's because it's urban environment now, isn't it? It's not the jungle anymore.
So, how do you like that environment feel compared to the? I
Yeah, I
don't like
think that's
comparing
what we
movies, but
needed. We
we need
needed
to.
them in an urban environment.
Right, right. We needed that, right? We needed that
Yeah.
change. The change of scenery, and of course the change of the main role, right? You agree with Danny Glover as the
Yeah, we don't want
antagonist
Arnie
or
again.
whatever.
Fucking hell.
Don't want Arnie. No one like Arnie. No one like
Yeah, I
Arnie.
do like Arnie.
Like
I like the
Stallone.
first one, but
If it's
no.
Stallone there in Predator 2, no, you wouldn't fit
The
it.
end of Predator 2 is better than the end of Predator 1.
Hey, tell that to this guy. Tell it to these guys. Tell it to
They're all
Bill
strung
Paxton
up, son.
when he gets fucked up. That was a great scene. I love that fucking scene, man. That train
Yeah, it
scene.
is good. That's near the start.
Oh,
That's when they go up in that building. They're trying to chase down the what are they called? The Jamaican voodoo
mm-hmm,
posse.
mm-hmm.
That's it. And they
Right.
think it's just a gang fight, and there's all these explosions and everything. And when they go upstairs, everyone's like strung up.
And this is what they find.
Yeah, one of the detectives, the female there, I can't remember what she's fucking called
Neither
now.
do I, but probably like some that common name,
Is
whatever.
it Leona Cantrell?
I was gonna say like yeah, something like that. I
I
don't know,
think
man.
it is, yeah. Well, she comes in and she goes, "Oh, I've seen this before. This is,
Hmm.
they do this to scare the other gang, But Danny Glover's not having any of it. He hasn't told anyone that, but he's thinking it.
Yeah, I like how Danny Glover plays the part. I do believe him as a cop, right? I mean,
Yeah,
the movie takes place in a futuristic 1997, like I mean, guys. So it's cool. It's cool as a kid or now. It's fucking cool to watch, right? It's cool
yep.
action, cool environment, and Danny Glover, guys. I like him in it. I was gonna say love. Did you hear that? And I stopped myself. Don't know why. And you and
I
I,
do love him in this film.
yeah, but it's just like I said. I have a feeling that, like I said, it would have made a lot. It would have been more memorable, Predator 2, with someone else. That's all. But I love Danny. I love Danny. I love Danny. Big D, I love Danny, right?
Yeah, I
I
love
love Danny.
Danny.
I love Danny. I love Mr. Glover. I want to.
Oh, Mr.
Yeah,
Glover.
I want to hold his glove. That's how much I love Mr. Glover.
I want to
Okay,
put my hand in his pocket.
and just walk around with him, right? Just let him take you to all these grocery stores with your hand in his pocket.
Walgreens.
Yeah, Walgreens and Rite Aid, CVS. Look at Danny with the gun and shit. I feel fucking straight with him, just rolling out with the Predator even rolling around. Danny makes me feel safe, guys. Oh, he does make me feel. You know what, Big D, you are right. He is like very formidable opponent for the Predator, even compared to Arnold. He's
Yeah,
more
no.
so. Look at Big D. Yes, thank you for joining us for this rant review of Predator 2. Um, this is why we have you on these videos. This is why we love you. So yes, fuck NA right. Danny Glover brings it in this fucking movie. I would say more so than Arnold. Fuck yeah, what does Arnold bring? Steroids and a couple of muscles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And a
know.
couple of
That's why I think
one-liners
that.
that he
Yeah.
fucks up. That ends up being more comedic than intimidating. And in Predator 1, Arnie, I didn't mention this, guys. This is a review of Predator 2, but we are comparing Danny Glover and Mr. Arnold here, right?
Yeah.
So Arnold's like dialogue and his delivery in Predator 1 is so just like boorish, like blah. You know what I'm saying? But Danny's is so fucking like anxious and panicky and ramped up. and he's so intense the whole time, right? Like he's grabbing everybody, right, by the fucking
Yeah,
shirt, and he's like, you motherfucker. He's like, go out there and find these guys. You know, he's just getting antsy. He wants
I
antsy.
love it when he punches the cameraman. Do you remember that?
Yes, I love that part. But he's like, got
He's
something to
about to go
say.
up in the building. He's like, "Hey, Mr. Harrington,"
Yeah.
he goes, "You doing some more killing and genocide?" And he just turns down and punches him
Boom.
straight in the face, and the camera drops to the floor. Then it
Yes.
carries on filming like him passed out.
That's right. I like that scene as well. It shows Danny's the no shit. You know, Mr. Murtaugh there. He's too old for this shit. You know, so he punches. We're gonna go over that, but I like that scene. And like I said, they don't do comedic scenes in here, guys. Like they're done so well. Like with Bill Paxton, for example, right? Big D, like he has a couple of good lines. Like he's like right trying to hit on the chick, right? And the beginning of the movie, right? There's a good play on that, right?
Then
like
Glover takes it to his office and tells him that not to fucking, it's all about the teamwork and shit.
Right. So you like Danny even more because Danny's like taking on Bill Paxton, this new rookie. And he's like, listen, it's about the team. There's some really mean shit out there, kid. Watch your ass. Watch each other's backs, right? So
yeah, exactly.
And this guy's a hot shot. Bill Paxton's playing a hot shot, and he plays it well. And in the end, though, guys, it cost him his life. We will see why it cost him his life, but it's fucking in an amazing way. No doubt about it. I don't know if he goes out like a chump. I mean, it's on your opinion who goes out like a chump in this movie and who doesn't. But I mean, whoever's killed by a predator isn't a chump because the predator doesn't kill chumps. So go figure that, right, Big D?
Everyone, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't kill everyone indiscriminately. Only he's a hunter. Goes after hunters. Goes after, fellow hunters, so to speak. Murderers, killers. People with guns. Anyways, surprised he didn't clean up the streets with abuse, domestic abuse. Send the predator to the urban neighborhoods, suburban neighborhoods. Let him clean up the abusive husbands. Let him fucking, shoot him through the fucking window and shit. Whatever. But Predator 2, yes, Big D. Let's get into the plot. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So can you take us to the beginning of this fucking movie?
Yeah, it's set in Los Angeles during a heat wave, and obviously everyone's fucking losing their head, especially Lieutenant Harrington, because he's chasing all these bad guys. But yeah, set in a heat wave, and there's loads of gang wars going on in Los Angeles at the time between Jamaican Voodoo Posse and another gang. I can't remember their name now. But obviously it starts off with them all battling in the street and stuff like that, and just shows you a bit of Harrington's character.
And that is Harrington, right?
Yeah.
The Glover.
Here he is, yeah.
What do you think about the weapon here? I have a thought on this. What is your thought on the weapons used in this movie for 1997?
Well, what, are you talking about his Desert Eagle?
Yeah, I'm talking about that Desert Eagle.
It's a standard Desert Eagle with a nickel finish, and it's chambered in .357 Magnum, and they fitted it with a laser sight to the top to make it look more realistic.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily given to police officers at that time, but you can put a laser sight on the top of those, and they did it for this movie just to make it fit in with the aesthetic of the film.
Now, did you like that though? Because to me, now that the more and more I watch the movie, and the more I have through the years, it looks too toyish for me. You know what I mean? It looks out of place.
It does look stupid.
It does look stupid. There we go. So
because Thingy's gun. What do you call him? Not Busey. What's he called? The other cop.
The other cop. Fucking his partner. One of his partners.
Not his partner. Fuck. I can't remember his fucking name.
Sorry.
Bill Paxton. He plays Jerry, doesn't he?
Hot shot. He's the hot shot.
He's got a pistol, but he's got like
a real one.
Well,
right?
No, the gun that he has is real. It's just that they put a laser sight on, so it makes it look like a toy gun.
Exactly. And, the Predator ain't playing with no toy guns, right?
Bill Paxton's got, I don't know what it might be a Glock, but he's got like a laser sight fitted underneath the barrel. Then that looks way better. And
he's still missing every shot, right, that he tries to shoot the Predator with, Mr. Paxton?
Yeah.
So even with the laser sight. But go ahead. So we meet Mr. Harrington, right? And he's in the middle of this gang war, right? And so he goes in. And what do they find? Shit like this, right? Shit like this, guys.
Yeah, basically.
Go ahead, Big D. Tell him.
They stay. Well, this scene's the one after when it happens again. But at the very first scene, they're all fighting up in like an apartment, and then the window blows out, or something like that.
Did you like that part, seeing the Predator for the first? Well, you don't get to see the Predator, but you do get to see him kill. Did you like that?
Yeah. I did like that.
Okay.
He comes down and starts slaying them all, doesn't he?
Yeah, I did like
He
that.
fires like that prong thing out of his gun, and it sticks into like the wall, which gets left there as like evidence, which Danny
Correct.
Glover later finds. But they go up into that flat and they see all that hanging down. They're all tripping.
Yes, they're tripping because, like you said, this is a scene, guys, a gruesome scene. There's bodies that are hung the fuck up. Where these people are fucking killed so quickly, right? It's like there's not an army. There's an army that would take to do it, and the police didn't do it. They were just outside chilling, right?
And it's not as if an explosion can de-skin you and hang you on the ceiling.
Correct. So this is very suspicious, as Big D says to Mr. Harrington, Mr. Glover, Mr. Danny here, and to his partners, right? Or to one partner at least Danny, all right? Danny just said this is fucked. So Danny goes back to the police station, right, Big D, to regroup and shit, and then you meet the hot shot here, Mr. Bill Paxton, right? He's a young Bill Paxton, guys, 1990. Rip to Bill Paxton. Yeah, God bless his soul. A great character actor, guys. I'm sure a great person in real life. Never met him, but I'm sure he was a cool dude. Anyways, so you meet him, right? And he's a hot shot. He's motherfucker.
He thinks he is.
Yeah, he thinks he is.
He has to transfer to that precinct, and Danny Glover says to him, "No one asks to come here. You got to come here to like get a good reputation."
Right.
And he says he doesn't want people like that in his fucking squad,
Yeah, so he calms Bill Paxton down right away, right?
Yeah. Because he flirts with the other chick.
I like that.
A sexual comment at her.
Yeah, I like that though. It's like done in a tasteful way.
The team, you got to respect everyone.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the girl, I think the chick might put him in an arm lock or something to prove her dominance. I don't know what. I think I'm thinking of another movie, but anyways, yeah, right. So Glover has his team. You meet his team, like Big D just informed you. And yeah, so what happens next from here? After Mr. Glover, I think he leaves the police office. He's on the hunt, right? He's on the hunt for evidence, guys, to find out who did this.
Isn't he I think he runs up to the top of the building because he hears something, and when he gets up there,
right,
he
that
looks
scene
up
I have.
He sees like the outline of the Predator.
See, I like that scene.
And he's looking at it. He shakes his head and he
right.
His eyes, and he
I like that.
Again,
that's
it.
It's
still there, but then it just disappeared because he jumps off or whatever.
Guys, that is right before. I believe that's right after that gun scene where in the beginning of the movie, right before they go to the police station. Yeah, great mention, Big D. I love that scene because when he sees the Predator, guys, like Big D says, Mr. Glover twitches his eyes. Like it's such good acting. Like Mr. Glover's looking at nothing, but the way he does it, it looks so real, right? Like there's something there that's disturbing, but he can't make it out. Like, what a fucking scene, dude. And he doesn't know whether to shoot or what. Like, that's how disturbing this image is to him. So he doesn't shoot, right? Doesn't shoot.
He doesn't shoot.
Doesn't say anything.
I would shot if I saw somebody in like.
You would shoot?
Yeah, I would have shot.
See, he would have shot. Big D would have shot this fucking thing, and that would have.
I definitely would have given it a pop to see what happened. And
well, see, here's my
known, wouldn't he?
Here's my problem though. Then you're a dead man because you started a fight with this fucking thing.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that, does he?
No, he don't know that, correct?
But then he might be thinking, well, they must have been shooting it, and no one managed to kill it. So.
But why doesn't he mention this to anyone, that what he saw? Because he can't be trusted on what he saw, right? Like he can't trust himself that he saw this. Hence, he doesn't tell anyone.
He believes it himself, so he's not.
Even though he saw the bodies the way they were, even though he saw the crime scene. Right?
Yeah, even though he saw it. Yeah, because he still didn't see that actually happen, did he?
No, he didn't see it actually happen. He saw the fucking aftermath. You know what I mean? It's like you don't see the tornado happen, but you see the aftermath.
To go up there because his boss, his superior, tells him that the boss is coming down, and he says, "That's
correct.
There, but
that's right.
Up there anyway.
Okay, correct. That's right. He pushes his way up there. That's right. Good one, Big D. Yes, correct me if I'm wrong. I love it. The Real Rant viewer, correct. So yes, you corrected that. So he shoves his way up there. All right. Because Mr. Busey here is undermining Mr. Glover's investigation of these killings, and of these executions and of these skinnings, right?
Yeah.
He's stopping Mr. Glover at every corner to going any further to finding out who's doing this. So what happens is, like Big D said, they go to another crime scene in the film, a little bit here, another one where there's a reporter that gets knocked out, right, and all that shit gets punched out, the cameraman.
Well,
and,
yeah, but hold on,
go ahead.
Doesn't it skip to a scene of the Jamaican
Oh,
voodoo
yes.
posse up in a
I
flat,
skipped
and that
that.
girl's like having sex with that guy?
Yes, go
And
on.
then they burst in, and then they kill one of them, and then they run into another room where the guy and the girl are, and they tie him to the ceiling by his legs like the Predator does, and they're about to sacrifice him.
Yes, that's the second crime scene that they come up on. Right, you're scraping it now. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Good. No, that's good.
I didn't know if that was before.
No, you're right. You're right on target. That's exactly right. So they string them up, right? Like he's like, pay me the money, right?
Yeah, he strings the guy up.
Go ahead.
No, he offers him money. He says, "I'll give you $2 million right now in cash," and he goes, "Ha ha 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 ha! We don't want money. We want power." Like that, and then he pulls out this bowl of like really gelatinous, viscous blood, and then he starts like pasting it onto his fucking chest, and the guy's shitting it, thinking, what the hell is happening now?
Right.
All these Jamaicans smoking joints around him, saying they're gonna kill him.
Bum the clats,
Yeah.
So them boozies, bum the clats, and guess what happens? Tell him what happens, Big D, when he's about to, do the power sacrifice of the marijuana. Go ahead.
Well, basically, one of their guys turns around because he hears something, and then suddenly, he turns around because there's a laser in his face. That's
right.
The Predator's putting his laser pointer onto his face, and he's like, "Hey!" He looks down, it goes to his chest. He goes to turn around, and then the Predator shoots, and then all you see is all these sparks and like the inside of him setting on fire, and then all his boys start tripping.
Right.
Like, ah! And they just literally shoot everything in the flat.
Yeah, guys.
There's partial windows that runs across the apartment.
Very cool scene.
Yeah, they're all just shooting non-stop.
They're just shooting with like AKs or something.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's glass everywhere. Right. I think the people that are strung up originally, the dude is shot or something in this melee. I don't know what. Yeah, whatever. They're shooting so much. They're just indiscriminately. They're in such a panic.
And then he murks everyone, and I think there's like, the
second chick survives.
Guy gets killed with a spear. And then the leader of it is like holding two pistols, I think, 2 guns.
Yes.
And then the Predator comes out of stealth and he just walks towards him, and then the leader just goes, like holding his guns up, and then all you see is his infrared vision zoom in on him. And we didn't get to see that kill scene, but
that was good though.
You see the aftermath.
You see the aftermath. And then I think the chick survives, right? There's the chick he was banging.
Yeah, she's the only survivor.
Yeah.
She's crying, saying that the devil came.
See, that's why the Predator doesn't kill indiscriminately, because he would have killed the chick. She was a witness. She was there, But no, he does. He kills only people that are, hunters as well, or he feels that are worthy of being killed.
That's it, yeah. Worthy.
Yeah, worthy. So this crime scene happens, right? Well, what happens is like Big D said earlier, Mr. Glover, his partner too. I think his partner sees something in the vent, and he wants to go back to the crime scene and get it. But Mr. Glover is telling his partner here to not do it alone. He's like, "Don't go alone, okay? I will go with you." You know what I mean?
He does.
Right? But he does, right, Big D? Which cost him his life. Yes. Because when he goes back, his partner, to get the weapon, it's actually a Predator weapon, and he goes to retrieve it and pull it out. He ends up, the Predator's actually there getting it himself. Right? Retrieving it himself. And bad timing. Yeah, bad timing for Mr. Cop Dude. Mr. Danny Glover's best friend there gets fucking shoved up into the vent.
Yeah, it's like that little prong thing stuck in the vent. And
he
pulls it out, and then...
And he's done, guys. He gets killed.
Well, you see, that's what happens. You see his neck, he gets pulled up, and then all you see is his necklace drop to the floor.
Correct.
And then you hear him go, "Ah!" And then you just see like a few drops of blood like come down and hit where his necklace was.
And I want you to remember that necklace that BD just mentioned. Very important, because there's a cool scene coming right up. So Danny Glover finds out about this. He's really pissed off. Now he's had it, right? Big D? His best friend's just been killed.
He's pissed off now because he's just killed his best friend and partner.
He's had it, guys. And it's a cool scene that he goes to this Jamaican leader in an alleyway, because he thinks he wants answers, right? After his friend's killed. He's tired of fucking around. So he goes to this big-time Jamaican leader in the city of LA or whatever, and he says, "Listen, who the fuck's doing these killings? You tell me, right? You fucking tell me.
Yeah,
And
first he has a
yeah,
run-in with that guy first, doesn't he? The
what?
one who runs like the company that wants to find out who this alien is and freeze it and keep it and shit.
Yeah, yeah. He has a run-in with them throughout the movie once in a while, but he doesn't get to Busey until after this, right? Until he fully after
Don't they
this.
go? I thought, don't they go
Yeah,
to his
they.
funeral? Or
Yeah,
is
we do
it?
that. We're gonna. The cemetery scene is after. We're gonna hit that cemetery scene. I believe it's either before or after this scene. But I wanted to cover this Jamaican scene real quick. This guy that gets killed off screen. He's like murdered, like by the predator. Shortly after talking to Danny Glover in the
Oh, you mean
alleyway.
he meets him in the alleyway?
Yeah,
He
he
gets in a
meets.
car. He gets
Yeah,
in a car. Then Bill
yeah,
Paxton comes up and goes to pull his gun on him, and then Harrington pushes his gun out there and he goes, "Don't shoot,"
yes,
I'm
yes,
getting in with these boys.
yes.
And then he gets in, he goes, "Ganja, man," and then passes him
Exactly.
like a massive joint, and he's like,
Yeah,
"No,"
massive.
and he's just looking disappointed because the car's hotboxed.
Yes, it is. He doesn't like that. So great scene there because the dude, the leader, doesn't have it. He tells Mr. Glover that something in cryptic way what's doing this, and it's not
He
human.
goes, "Speak English."
Yeah, he's basically telling him to tell him in plain terms what this thing
He
is.
goes, "You cannot kill what cannot be killed."
Right, great line. You cannot you cannot kill what cannot be killed. But we know this guy's wrong because if it bleeds, it can be killed. Arnold said that in the first, right, Big D?
Yeah.
So we know that anything bleeds, it can be killed. So the Jamaican gets taken out off screen, but I like it because it scared me because it's a cool scene when the leader, the guy, when Danny Glover leaves, the predator drops down in stealth form behind him, right, and hits the water in the alleyway, and this fucking guy knows his death is imminent, right?
Yep.
And he takes out a
He's
sword.
done for, but he even says, he goes, "He's here," and then he
Right.
looks up, doesn't he?
He says he's here,
And then
and
you
he
see
looks
him
up.
walking through the puddle, and you just see the water splashing out.
Yeah, it's really
Bloody good CGI.
bloody
for the
good,
time.
bloody good CGI, bloody
And
good
he's got
intensity.
that cane sword, hasn't he? He keeps like a sword. in
Yeah,
his
sword.
cane.
Yeah, he keeps a sword, and he man, he dies. Of course, you cannot go sword to sword with Mr. Predator and think to live, right? Right,
Yeah.
he dies. He fucking dies. And then we move to the graveyard scene where first partner. So Danny Glover the next day goes to his friend's funeral. He's newly buried at the cemetery. And guess what? He turns around and he sees something hanging from a tree, guys. It happens. As he gets closer, what's hanging from the tree, Big D, is what?
Is Jerry Lambert's? Oh no, not Jerry Lambert's.
This thing on
It's
his neck.
Yeah, it's his partner's necklace, but it's
That's
half
right.
of it, isn't it?
You're right, half
He,
of it's
grabs
hanging.
it off the tree.
Grabs it real quick, right? It's kind of like not hanging on the tree, though, right? It's kind of like, I believe it was just hanging. And he
Yeah,
snatches
it's just
it.
hanging from a tree, yeah.
So it creeps him
He
out.
like freaks out and he looks up with his gun, spins around, looks at the grave, and
With the corny gun, guys. I'm going to be fucking real with you. Every time he pulls this damn gun out, I fucking don't feel it. I don't feel it.
I know why they put the laser sights on it, like I said, to make it look more futuristic.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be that futuristic. To make it look stupid and corny, I wasn't scared.
It does look stupid.
And then the Predator's saying something he heard a child saying in the graveyard shortly before this, you want some candy, do you want some candy? Because apparently the Predator learns words,
yeah, you find that
vocals.
very later
Yeah,
on in the movie.
later on in the
He
movie.
speaks quite a few times.
He does speak.
Even
But,
says motherfuckers.
he
which
says
I just thought
mother-
was well funny.
Me too.
He
says
finishes
motherfuckers.
Danny Glover's sentence.
He does. Yeah, he does. I never got that scene.
I actually laughed.
Oh,
when I
gosh.
watched it. I was
You
like,
actually
"Fuck."
laughed, huh? That was good. So we move on, right? So he grabs the necklace. He's all fucking... Anyways, this is just more motivation here for Mr. Danny Glover to find this fucking thing or whoever's doing this shit and kill it, right? So what happens next is I just want to go right to the subway scene, Big D, okay? Because already Danny Glover's partners have been dwindled, and this is the last of them. It's the chick and Mr. Paxton, right? They're going home on the subway, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Now, this scene, when I saw it as a child, guys, really fucking had me going. I don't know how to describe the feeling I had. It wasn't like I was scared, but I was, I don't know.
I thought it was a really good scene.
Yeah, me too. But there was something...
Yeah, I thought adding a subway scene in there was quite a good idea.
Yeah, because I like how the Predator... See, guys, the Predator goes into the train car because he's after Mr. Paxton here, because he's a formidable opponent, see? So he goes after Mr. Paxton to hunt him. But I don't. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when he's making his way towards Mr. Paxton and the chick, does he kill other people? Yes, right? He kills people with weapons, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, he jumps on top of the train. Basically, they're walking down the train, like all of the police officers, or they're sat there in a group, and they notice like all the gang are there with their guns out and everything. So they're all like, freeze, like everyone on the train.
Oh shit!
And while they're holding the guns up to him, everyone's pointing their lasers out, saying, don't be a fucking hero, sort of thing. And then all you hear is, and then it's Predator jumping on top of the train, and he rips off the top of it. Then all the lights cut out, and then they're flashing. The lights are flashing, so like everyone's tripping out, screaming, and then obviously he rips the thing out, jumps onto the carriage, and everyone, that's when it starts kicking off.
Kicking off,
big time.
Big time.
I can't remember if the Predator just murks everyone, or
I can't remember that either. But I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's after his trophy, which is Mr. Paxton. So, but the other people are in the way, firing at the Predator.
He's got a golf ball in his hand, hasn't he? And he throws it.
He throws
a golf ball at Predator's head.
His lucky golf ball, whatever, right? The one he was going to go to Florida with, or whatever, right? Or he's transferred, so he came from whatever. He's got his golf ball, right? He throws it at the Predator. As the Predator's coming towards him, guys. Now, this is a great scene because
he picks up a big knife, doesn't he? A big machete knife.
Oh fuck yeah! He picks up a big knife because I think he's out of bullets.
Like, come on, motherfucker!
Come on! Right, come on!
Walking towards him.
Walking towards him in stealth, guys. This
then
big.
He goes,
yeah.
Take this! And then the Predator fucking launches him, and you just hear it go, nah!
Yeah, death scream, right? Death scream.
That's the last time you see his face.
That's the last time you see his face because he is a trophy now, guys. That's for damn sure. His fucking head and spine were ripped out. We'll tell you that. But right after he kills Mr. Paxton, though, before he takes Trophy Boy, he hot shot the chick. He goes and grabs the chick by the throat, and I love the scene because he sees with his infrared through the chick's body, and he sees a life form in her body, in her womb. He sees that she's pregnant.
Oh yeah.
So he does not kill her. He drops her down and walks. She's traumatized. She doesn't speak. I love it too. It brings a new dynamic to the Predator. It brings a whole fucking... Nobody talks about it. You know? No one. Oh, how dare you?
About his partner?
How fucking dare you?
The female partner?
Yeah.
She's
pregnant with
the... He basically picks her up by the throat, looks down, and he just sees the little baby in there.
Yep. And he says, nope.
And then the scene cuts off. It just goes to the news reporters.
So if you want to really analyze that shit and break it down, just that little scene, you could. And you could go really, really deep. So I like Predator 2, and the writers, the director put it in, right? So all fucking props to him. Great fucking scene with the Predator. Gives you kind of a morality or human, like you know what I mean? Of kind of like a principle base that the Predator has. It gives us more about the Predator. If you agree or not.
I think that ties in with the last scene as well.
Which we're going to get into, yes. But anyways, right? So the chick is traumatized. Danny Glover shows up. They find out. He finds out that everybody's dead. What happens now? Here we go. Mr. Busey comes into the picture fully here. Danny Glover's sick of this shit. He finds out where Busey is or something like that. What happens, Big D? How do they come together? I believe either the Busey kidnaps Mr. Glover, yes? And takes him to, or does he find the location? I can't remember how it happens, guys. I'm sorry. But either...
no, because directly after that train thing, doesn't he go... He goes back to the subway, doesn't he? Danny Glover goes back to the subway to look around.
And that's when he's caught by Busey, right? Or he's taken by Busey, or he meets up with Mr. Busey. No?
Busey's in that van, isn't he?
Yeah, but I'm saying I think he just shows up. That's what he does.
Yeah, he just shows up.
Joe just shows up, right, at the trailer van that they're at.
All the boys that are in black, aren't they?
Glover's sick. Yeah, he's tired of it. So Glover tracks down Busey.
They've been studying him, haven't they?
They've been tracking the Predator, guys. Busey informs Mr. Glover that they've been tracking this Predator the whole time. They know what it is. It's an alien life form. They know where it eats, where it feeds, and this is where it feeds.
They were following his patterns, and every 2 days he goes to the meat factory, don't they?
Correct. To the meat factory to feed, right?
I believe to feed. Like a full-on FBI surveillance van sort of thing.
Yes, they got the whole place fucking locked down,
and
right?
They're all wearing special suits because they don't want the Predator
thermal
to be able
suits,
to see them.
Hazardous biohazard suits. They have liquid nitrogen or something in these tanks that they're gonna freeze the Predator with so they could study him, right? They want to capture him alive. Correct, Big D? Mr.
Yeah,
Busey.
so
See, that's
they want
where.
to cover him with like a dust or something, don't they?
Yeah, that's where
They can
Busey,
easily see him.
Mr. Busey and Glover have been. That's where they don't see eye to eye. Glover wants this fucking thing dead. Busey wants it alive. So
Yeah, he
there's a
says,
fight.
he goes, you want to freeze this fucker?
Yeah, freeze this fucker. Yeah, he says a great line there. I love how he delivers, Mr. Glover. So Danny is they point guns at Danny and tell him, "You stay your ass right here in this fucking trailer. You don't move, motherfucker. We're going to take."
They point guns at him.
How do they keep him from staying in the van?
They doesn't. He explains to them what they're gonna do.
Oh, okay, right. They don't put guns at him, right?
He explains what they're gonna do, and then he zips up and he goes, "Take his seat."
Correct.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show, right? Okay, thank you. I think they pull a gun on him later when he tries to leave, and that's when they pull the guns. But anyways, okay, right. He says, "Enjoy the show," right? Mr. Busey's like, and you're kind of like enjoying this show, right? Big D, am I wrong?
Yeah, well, I would enjoy it.
Yeah, I was enjoying it too. I was like, oh fuck, they're gonna. They really think they're gonna do this.
Oh, didn't he say to him, his mate, Busey's like right hand man says something like, like something about his stealth, and then Danny Glover's like, you admire him, and he's like, no, he doesn't admire him, or something. He respects him.
Yeah. There's some stupid philosophical talk. Like, yeah, they're trying to, I didn't care for that dialogue. You know what I mean? Didn't give a fuck. Anyways, they go in, right, Big D? They go in with these fucking like Ghostbuster.
They're told not to shoot or retreat unless they're given the order.
Right.
They have got guns, but they're mainly armed with nitrous oxide.
Yeah, these Ghostbuster looking proton packs. Proton packs, in fact, in Ghostbusters 2, with the ooze and shit. But anyways, they fucking got these nitrogen tanks, right? They I guess the Predator. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Go on, Big D. Fucking rant on me. Tell these people what's gonna happen. I'm sorry, I'm losing it because they're gonna go in and get the Predator with nitrogen. Go ahead, buddy. Tell us what happens with this fucking shit.
I don't know why they thought it was going to work. But yeah, they've rolled out in a team. They're told not to, like, kill it. You know, we want to capture this motherfucker alive. They walk into this meat factory. It's obviously freezing in there. But they're all wearing thermal suits, stuff like that, armed with their nitrogen guns. They roll in there as a team. They've got big lights on their shoulders so they can see everything.
You can see them here, yeah. There's the lights. Big lights.
The Predator's obviously...
to blind the Predator.
What's going on? He's watching them all, he's not stupid.
Yeah, he is smarter than they think, right? He's hunting them.
To clear it, and he's at the top looking down on them all. And all the Predator can see is like the light in the room or something, or the heat lamp or something like that.
It reminds me of Batman Arkham Asylum before Batman Arkham Asylum, guys.
And then they're tracking him, aren't they? They're tracking him on computer screens, and he's like doing odd movements.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they circle behind his men.
Circle behind his mates. He knows, right? So they realize that.
And then Danny Glover gets on the headset, and he's like, "He's coming behind you."
Yeah, he's like behind you. Right. So it gets intense.
He sees the damn light.
And they're saying where, right? They're saying Busey's saying where. We don't see him. We don't fucking see him.
He goes, "Stop him!" Like to try and not let Danny Glover.
And they pull the guns. Then they pull the guns on Mr. Glover. Then yes.
Yeah. Then he knocks one
to
of
his
them
chin.
out.
Right.
And Danny Glover pulls the gun on him.
Mm-hmm.
And they punch each other, and then he says, "Go fuck yourself," and then he runs out there, Glover. See, like, you don't know what you're doing here again.
And he says, "Fuck you" or whatever.
You're ruining everything. And then he goes, "Go fuck yourself."
That's right.
Anyway.
That's right. Go fuck yourself. I love it.
And then it cuts to the scene, and all the guards had stood around in the room, like with their guns pointed, looking around. The Predator just drops in between all of them.
Right.
Just out of nowhere.
Beautiful.
And then just starts slicing and motherfucking dicing.
Oh, yes, boys. It is a massacre of epic proportions for sure. And then he throws a missile at Mr. Busey to finish Mr. Busey, as you saw in the picture there. Mr. Busey's expression as this missile is being fired at him. This explosion in his face. He's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just bring back another scene?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Big T. This is Rant
When they're
review.
in the flat fighting that gang, there's a sick bit where the Predator fires one of those metal meshed wire things.
Yes.
And it pins him against the wall.
That's the picture I have.
Because as it pins him against the wall, it's so tight around his face, it like cuts his cheek.
Yes.
You see a little bit of blood running down.
That's the picture I have.
That becomes more prevalent later on in the film as well, because he uses the same gadget in the end scene. But yeah, carry on.
No, great, because I do have that up. That picture does come up. It will come up in a second here of that guy with the fencing or whatever, the netting on his fucking face.
Like trap net
very original. Yeah, like very original kind of thing. I
just loved it how it didn't just pin him to the wall. It like sunk into his face.
Me too. Yeah.
Sexy.
Good attention to detail there. Good point out, Big D. Yes, they did so well with the effects in this movie, guys. They really tried hard, and it shows. Props to them in 1990. So fuck off if you shit on this movie. Fuck you. Leave a comment then. Leave a comment and dislike then. That'd be much appreciated. All right. So where are we at now? We're at Mr. Danny, right?
Danny's gone in now. He's gone to the back of his car. He's stuck on a plate carrier.
Right.
And pulled out.
He's got no fear, right?
M16 with a grenade launcher.
He's got no fear. Yeah, he's loading up the grenade launcher, right?
Like, fuck this.
He's like, fuck this shit.
Mates, haven't they?
Yeah, this motherfucker ain't got nothing to lose no more, man. Like Danny, the way Danny plays this role, guys, is just the way it should have been played. Like just not giving a fuck, like no fear. That's how you beat a super species. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Gary Busey, he's still alive in there at the moment. He had a problem with his suit, so he takes his head off. But he doesn't realise Danny's, Glover's on the way in, Harrington's in the way in.
Yeah, he doesn't realize that, right? So Mr. Busey thinks he's got the upper hand, see, on the Predator because the Predator got his form now. He doesn't think, Busey's right.
He can see him, and he's about to fuck him up.
He's about to fuck him up. He's hitting him with the nitrogen, right? He's talking shit to the Predator as he's doing it. And I love how
fuck this.
I want to tell you guys, as a child, when I watched this scene, when Mr. Busey is shooting the Predator with the tank of smoke, I fucking was like tripped out by it because the Predator looks so good and scary, guys. To me, it was scary because the way this Predator is, how big he is, it's just like, and moving fast. Somebody that big and moving that fast, like, right? A Big D, we pointed out, a great Predator in this movie, practical, very fucking awesome movements, and it just gets me. Like, it got me as a kid. I was like, holy shit, get him! I was like, get him! I was like, get him, Busey.
He plays Predator in this. He moves so well.
Yes,
and the suits in this just look fucking brilliant.
Brilliant. Look at this.
Like, if you think some of the later movies, like Batman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Highly rated movie, massive box office.
Yeah.
The costumes look absolute shit.
Trash.
Right?
You got the Riddler looking like trash. We're not even going to talk about it.
This came out.
Yep. Look at this. Here's the guy.
Costumes in the CGI looks brilliant.
Here's the guy's face. Look at this effect here. This is what Dowie was mentioning with the effect on the netting, with his face being squished. Yeah. And look at that.
Just after that, when it tightens
it looks so good. Yeah, it looks so good to me. It creeps me. And you see that for a couple seconds. You do see that. So they let it linger for you. So it sticks in your head. Anyways, so we go to Danny. He's fed up, right? So he's going to go in there. Mr. Busey thinks he's got the Predator done, but he doesn't, right, Big D? He doesn't.
He hasn't got him done.
What does the Predator do? He has to trick up his sleeve.
Just fucking nothing.
Nothing.
Basically, there's a big explosion in there which confuses the Predator a bit, and that sets off the sprinklers.
Correct.
And obviously the Predator's spinning out, and then fucking Glover sees Predator out of stealth and starts releasing his fucking weapon onto him.
Right. And of course, like Big D mentioned, during this process, Mr. Busey is killed.
He damages Predator's weapon as well.
Right. Glover does with a shot.
He takes off his shoulder and throws it on the floor.
So he's not able to go stealth anymore or use any of this technology, I guess. So, or like he used to. So that's cool. Mr. Busey's dead, like we mentioned. His head gets cut off in a cool way, but you don't see it.
Oh yeah, he uses that boomerang weapon.
Yeah, he uses this
slicer.
Yeah,
that's a good scene. It flies through the meat.
Right.
It like cuts off.
Cuts through the meat. Yeah, slow mo.
Yeah.
And then fucking slices off his head. You don't see the head actually get cut off, but it is effective. You know.
They should have shown it though.
They should have shown it because I agree with you because it is Gary Busey, and I want to see Gary get his head cut off.
Well, but
yeah.
That comes onto the.
But yeah, so Mr.
Predator line on the floor, doesn't he?
What's that?
He finds Harrington like knocks him out or something. The Predator, he finds him on the floor. He gets him with a shotgun.
Oh yeah, it's a crazy fucking scene. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then he goes, "Let's see what you look like." And then
what a
tame
scene!
His mask.
Oh.
And then he goes, "You're one ugly," and then
he gets grabbed
and just says, "Motherfucker."
Yeah, wakes up and says, "Motherfucker," and it's a great line from the first, obviously throwback. And then that scared me as a kid too. I couldn't believe he had the balls to go up to the Predator and take his mask off.
Take off his mask.
Yeah, take his mask off. Like holy shit! What balls on Mr. Glover, guys? What fucking guts. And he gets grabbed by the throat and thrown around by the Predator. And a chase ensues here, guys. So Mr. Glover's the fucking out of there, right? He's felt the rage of this Predator. He's felt the power. He's fucking done.
Yeah.
He's had enough. He's out. He runs. So now he's the hunted.
Busey, yeah, Busey's still alive at this point.
Oh, Busey's alive. I thought we already talked about Busey getting his head chopped.
Yeah, no, but that bit when the Predator's on the floor and he goes to take off his mask, Busey's still alive at that point.
Oh, okay, and that's when he fires him with the gas, and then he finishes his ass.
That's when he uses. Then he goes, "Harry, get the fuck out of here!"
Right, that's when Glover hits the brick.
Between me and him.
Yeah, it's between me and him. And Mr.
And that's when he pulls out
there
his
he
little,
is.
like, expanded.
Yeah, look at him with his teeth.
Boomerang.
There he is.
And it's like slicing through all the joints of me. I don't know why he hasn't moved by this point, but yeah, you just see his body drop down, and then like a bucket load of blood.
Yeah,
and
well,
like brains hanging out on the floor.
I say he hasn't moved because they slow-mo it, so if it was in fast mode, he wouldn't have time to react. You know? He wouldn't even see it coming. That's all. Like, you said why was he didn't react? Why Mr. Busey just didn't duck or something? You know? Are you there? Big D. Oh, shit. Yeah, you there, buddy?
Yeah, you cut out.
Okay, I'm cutting out. I think my internet's going. Okay. Okay, you hear me now, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so anyways, so Glover hits the bricks, right?
Yep.
Now he's the hunted, so the Predator's hunting him, and guys, he hunts him all over the city, right? So there's a cool scene where on the top of this roof, and the Predator's holding on to Mr. Glover's arm, and you could feel. I remember this fucking scene.
Your voice is like going quiet.
My voice is going quiet. Yeah?
Yeah, can hear you now.
Okay, I don't understand what's happening all of a sudden.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, let's just stay with it. So, the Predator is grabbing onto Mr. Glover's arm, right? And the Predator's got those claws, right? You just feel the pain, right? Big D, explain that scene if you want. I don't know if you like that scene or.
Grabbed his. What? Oh, you mean when he's falling off the building?
Yeah, when he's off the building there. He's Predators.
Yeah, so they're fighting on the roof, and then the Predator falls off, and as he's falling, he grabs his arm, and then he doesn't know what to do, and Glover's trying to reach. Harrington's trying to reach that weapon, which the Predator's stuck in the wall next to where he's fallen off. And as this is happening, the Predator's on his little computer on his arm typing in the detonation code because they've got self-destruct.
Right.
And he goes to type it in, so the timer's already going off. But Glover managed to reach that weapon and cut off his arm.
Jeez.
And the Predator falls down, basically. And I think he smashes through the apartment window on the opposite side of the building.
He does. And then he repairs his arm in the ladies' bathroom.
Glover pulls his arm that's still holding onto the wall and throws it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Predator is in the bathroom, isn't he? Like fixing himself up, like Harrison Ford fugitive style.
Yeah, and there's a chick with a broom outside, an old lady, right? She's scared shitless.
Gel on fire, doesn't he? Then he scoops it up and then wipes it on his
wound.
arm that's been cut off, or the wound.
Yep, and he screams.
And he does his chest and stuff like that where he's been shot.
And you get to hear him scream in pain as he patches
and the
himself
woman's
up.
Like, "Come out here! I think somebody's in the bathroom."
Oh shit! She's in for a surprise. That's the biggest turd I've ever seen come out of a bathroom. You know what I mean? That's to just bust out the bathroom of Mr. Predator. But it's cool because you see on the other side, as the Predator is healing himself up, you see on the other side of the screen multiple times Mr. Danny Glover trying to get the fuck out of there or get the jump, actually chase down the Predator. Sorry, guys. He's going after the Predator, actually. This is unbelievable.
And it just says something funny. Like, she gets a broom and she's waiting outside.
Yeah.
The Predator kicks the whole fucking door and frame off in one go and then puts a massive hole in the front door and just storms off.
Right. Now
then Harrington comes swinging into the bathroom.
Yeah, and he gets hit with the broom. And he gets hit with the broom, though.
Yeah, and then she says, "Well, I don't think he's scared of you." Or,
whatever. Or something. I don't think he's scared. I don't think he gives a fuck. I think he gives a shit. Yeah, she says, "I don't think he gives a shit" or something. But it's cool because now the Predator is being the hunted one. Mr. Glover has the Predator wounded and on the run. So this is switched dramatically, right, Big D? Now we have. See how the movie keeps us turning and twitching and twisting? It's very good. It keeps us roller coasting. I like it. Now the Predator is on the run. He's got one fucking arm, thanks to Mr. Glover. So Mr. Glover's chasing him down, right? And where do they get to, Big D? They finally just get to the spaceship, right? Is that where they end up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, he
No?
chases into an elevator shaft.
Elevator
The
shaft.
Predator jumps down and he's like, what the fuck? So Danny goes down there as well. And he jumps onto a cable that's swinging below the elevator. And the
Right.
elevator starts moving down. He's like, stop the elevator. But he can't. And then before he gets to the bottom, he has to let go. So he lets go. And he literally falls into this hole where he's able to take grip. But when he looks up, he realizes that the elevator is still coming down. So he just thinks, fuck it, let's go. And goes, ah. And then
Right.
it hits the deck. And then when he stands up, he realizes he stood on something that he's never seen before. This weird alien-looking ship, like UFO thing. And he walks in there
And that's the
to
Predator
check it
ship.
out.
Right. There he goes. He found where the Predator went. Followed it to its home base, guys. And here is where the final showdown occurs. Correct?
Yeah.
So we have Danny Glover versus the Predator he's been chasing. The Predator strips off all his gear. He does this in respect to a one-on-one fight. No weapons, just hand-to-hand combat between two fucking worthy warriors. Mr. Danny Glover versus the Predator. It's not Arnie, guys. This is a man. An actual
Yeah, but
man.
he's still got the weapon though, hasn't he? Danny's still got a weapon.
Well, he's got a weapon. Yeah, he's got the
and the
Predator's
Predator's
weapon.
using one as well, but it's
So
like
it's
a
allowed.
sword or some shit.
Yeah, so it's allowed because he's got the blades on him or whatever still.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
allowed. It's like a fair fight, you know, or whatever. So yeah, they go hand to hand, and
And it looks like, obviously he's not gunning, but it looks like Glover's about to die, doesn't it? Because he's on the floor like,
yeah, he's hurt bad, guys.
like
He's sliced
sat
up.
below him, but he's still got the disc in his hand.
He sure does, and he's able to
Predator's
strip.
like sliced open his stomach with his like Wolverine blades.
But the Predator's mistake is thinking that Danny Glover is weak when he's strong.
And then he looks up
Underestimating Mr. Glover. Go ahead.
He looks up at him.
Yep.
And then plunges that disc thing straight into his stomach, doesn't he?
I believe so, just to bend him down. I think it's either in his stomach or his leg, right? To bend him down to cut his head off.
Yeah,
right?
In his like abdomen.
Yeah, that hurts.
And then he like twists it and like slices it up.
I like the blood of the Predator, how it looks.
Yeah,
I like that shit.
Blood.
Yeah, I fucking like it. It probably looks badass in 4K, I bet. Never seen it in 4K yet, unfortunately. I don't know if they have a 4K release of Predator 2.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a 4K of Predator 2, but I would like to see that released in 4K.
Have a what, sorry?
I'm sorry, am I cutting out on you?
It just goes quiet, yeah.
It just goes quiet. I don't understand why that's happening. I'm sorry, I apologize. No clue.
Copy that.
Yeah. So anyways, like I was saying, I just lost my train of thought though. But anyways, let's go to the fucking. Yeah, he cuts his fucking head off, Mr. Glover. And what happens next, Big D? Go ahead. Since I'm cutting out and
He
shit.
plunges the disc into his stomach and he slices it up, and then the Predator's screaming in pain. And then he literally just takes his last breath, falls backwards, and then Danny Glover's like holds onto the disc for him, like walking up to him, and you can see like there's luminous blood through like all the smoke and everything. And he walks up to him to check on it, basically, to make sure he's dead. He's like looking at his face, holding the blade to his neck. And then that's when that sick bit comes in, where he steps back looking at him, turns around, and the laser shines in his face. And then literally like 6 or 7 predators come out of stealth, and they're all just surrounding him, all in different like dress. You know, some without masks on, some with on, some fully armored.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool scene.
Yeah, they've surrounded him basically, and he's thinking, "I'm fucked." But all he
Yeah,
says is,
so are
right,
you.
Which one of you's first?
You're right. I love it. I love
Or
it.
next, he says.
He does like a sigh thing where he kind of just like, oh fuck, and he's just like, all right.
Oh, shit.
He's like, which one?
Next?
Yeah, and it's so awesome. Like,
and then they walk up to him like they're gonna
what a
kill
line.
him, don't they? And then they pick up their predator friend and
You're
carry
right.
him away.
Carry him away. Take the body away.
And then they all start walking off, going into stealth. And there's just one predator left, and he goes to walk off, but then he stops. He turns around, and he pulls this gun out of his waist belt that's like an old musket from like a long, long time ago, and he looks at it, he goes, "Here, take this." Like the Predator says that and throws it to Glover, and he catches it, and then looks at it, and then it says somebody's name, and it says like 1719 or something, 1701. I can't remember.
Right. Says a year.
Take this.
Gives him the gun.
Take it, he says.
Take it. Yeah, it's like a Civil War gun or something. Probably one like I said. I think there's videos out there on YouTube about where the gun came from and what people's thoughts on that, theories.
It's from.
Yeah, I have my own theory, like I said, and I think it just came from another worthy warrior back in 1750 that he killed, and he took it as a memento, like he took the guy's necklace. Like his friends.
He probably fought somebody like Danny Glover.
Mm-hmm.
He took that weapon from him.
It reminded him maybe of Danny, so he gave Danny the obviously it was meant something to the Predator because he was holding it
out of respect for killing one of their own. It's like they probably got that as a rule. If a human kills, one of their own, then they've got to let them live. I reckon that's like like the baby thing earlier on in the film.
Oh yeah, same thing. Like the baby thing. Yeah, there's rules. They have principles.
Thing I was going to say, he uses that like net thing, the metal net.
Right.
Well, he uses it in this against Harrington, but because Harrington's got that blade, the Predator's blade, he's able just to slice straight through it.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, he's able to slice right through it. So that's the end. Basically the end, because he gives him the gun and they self-destruct. The spaceship takes off. Right.
Yeah, they walk out. He realizes the ship's about to take off, so Harrington runs out the back of the ship, and you can see the engines starting up. And then just as he's running away, the engines go full blast, and then it blasts Danny down the corridor into a big pile of rubble and dust, basically. And then he walks outside, and then the men in black, that team that you saw earlier with Busey, they all come down in a helicopter.
They start
to have a go at Danny. They start to have a go at Harrington, but when they look at the look on his face and they see that he's just been through loads of shit,
right? They don't dare fuck with him.
And he just takes off in the helicopter.
Yeah, so it ends just like the first one, him covered in ash and in debris. So it's a cool throwback to the Arnie one, to the first, and that's how it ends, just like Big D says, the end of Predator 2. Now, Big D, there's some questions. I know this has been a long rant. Are you up for just a couple more topics on this movie? Okay. I just want to talk about... I really do, all right? I want to bring it, and I want to bring it hard.
Go for it.
Where does this rank to you on the Predator series? And it's question 2 for you. Is this the best Predator? Is this better than Predator 1? That's what I really want to know. Go ahead. Where does this rank for you in the Predator series, and is this better than Predator 1?
Are you in... Is the recent remake of the original Predator in that as well as the Predator? What shit remake?
I'm talking every fucking movie except for the Alien vs. Predators.
Well, out of 1 and 2, I don't know, because it's so hard, because obviously the...
See, and this is where the question...
The original one.
It's just like, why you can't give me that answer straight out is because I believe of Danny Glover.
Yeah, Danny Glover's good, but he never would have fit in the first one, I don't think.
You know what I'm saying, though? But you can't... Like, what do you say, then? Did you like watching... Were you more entertained by Predator 2 or Predator 1?
I was probably more entertained by the second one, and the end scene is something I've always remembered as a kid.
Right, me too.
Like that end scene when he gives him the gun. Because there's nothing like that in the first one. It's just, I'm Arnie, big muscles, I'm going to win, sort of thing.
And then there's the explosion, and it's over. Right.
But
I agree.
I wanted, couldn't have had another movie where they're making traps out of logs and spikes and shit, you know what I mean? Because it's just not realistic. Why are they only hunting people in the jungle?
Mm-hmm.
When the majority of people don't live in the jungle.
No, true. No. So you have to bring So you have to bring the number 2 to the modern age. Yeah, of course, right? You have to bring it somewhere else, like you said, besides the jungle, but make it a jungle type environment, right? Where there's no rules, and you know what I'm saying, right? The heat wave, and so you can see it, right? So it's perfect hunting ground for the Predator, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is perfect hunting ground.
So
maybe he realized that. Maybe that. I know. Maybe. Well, I'm doing a job for the fucking director.
We are. We surely are.
Shit. That was the idea. Thinking the Predator. Oh, right. Well, we're done in the jungle. It's too easy. We want more people. So they went to a fucking busy city like Los Angeles.
Yeah, which makes it more interesting to me than the first. You know, just
Well,
like you
yeah, I
said.
think it is more interesting. I just think some of the first ones,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just don't think it was as well directed. The second one, even if there are better scenes in it.
Yeah, I think the second one is not directed better at all either.
And you don't really see a lot of the Predator in the first one either.
No,
Not
you don't.
properly.
And it's still good, you know?
In the second one, you see his staff, you see his laser
Yeah, you see a
weapon.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see everything. You
you
see him
see the man
healing
behind the
himself.
curtain. Yeah, you see the puppeteer guys, and it does take away from the mystique, you know, from the fear, right? From the facade of the Predator. By revealing more of the monster, obviously, it makes it less scary, doesn't it? But, you know, I just wanted to ask you those questions. Those are important questions that every Predator fan battles with, right? Like,
Definitely should have been rated higher.
oh yeah, what did you say it was rated on IMDb? I think it was a 6.3, was it?
6.3, yeah.
6.3, and Mr. Glover here. There's nothing against Danny, guys. I love Danny. I told you that. I'll always say that. But they just fucked it up because they could have had a multi-million-dollar movie. They could have had a lot of toys and merchandise. They could have had a lot of sponsors. They could have had a lot more marketing. They could have had a lot more publicity if they would get somebody to play the main role other than Mr. Glover. You know? That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And that's the bottom line. That's why nobody remembers the movie. That's why nobody gives the movie credit. That's why, and it's a shame. It's just a shame. It's a travesty of cinema. You know what I'm saying? It's one of these movies, Predator 2, that is so underrated and doesn't get the respect it deserves because of these factors we're describing. You know? And it's just not right. You know? It's just not right. And this is a real rant fucking review. And we told you the plot of this shit. You didn't like it? You didn't want to go see this shit? You don't want to see this man's fucking head ripped out? You don't?
I do.
Yeah, I do too. And I do again. And I'm going to go watch it after this fucking review. How's that? I'll go put it on. Or I'll watch a clip on YouTube of Mr. Paxton.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, getting his fucking shit ripped without us seeing it. But knowing that by his death scream. Oh my god. So anyway, Predator 2, we rant reviewed it. I really appreciate you, Big D, taking time out of your busy schedule to join me here on this rant review. I know we went a long time.
Happy to be here.
We're glad to have you.
Another rant review.
Yes, sir. Rant review. This is what we do. We love to do it. It's our passion. Tell the truth on movies. So our conclusion is to go see this movie. Yes, I suggest you see it once. Big D, more than once. Big D, go ahead. What is your suggestion?
What for the next movie?
Oh, for Predator 2. See, yay. See it? How many times? Over and over?
Yeah. What did you? Eh?
Is Predator 2 a recommendation of a movie? Would you see? Would you recommend?
Definitely.
Yes. Would you watch it more than once?
Yeah, I have watched it more than once. I've already watched it about 100 times.
There we go, baby. So have I. So that's
the years.
That's our final judgment, guys. Our rant review, our real rant review on Predator 2. Please see this movie once, twice, 3 times to make sure, right? To catch it all.
Perfect for the end scene.
Perfect for the end scene. Well, just for the end scene. Fuck yeah, way better than Predator 1.
There's loads of good kill scenes in that film.
Loads of good kills. Way good effects, guys.
It's not just him hiding in the trees all the time. He's jumping out on top of buildings, stringing people up, cutting people's heads off. Just everybody's getting fucking murked. Yeah, a massive heat wave in Los Angeles. Why would you not want to see that?
I know, it's funny because we can go on and on, can't we? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
It's so amazing that we can talk that much about Predator 2 when no one on fucking YouTube can make a really respectable, honest video about this movie, you know? And give it its honest, real opinion. And stop fucking jumping on bandwagons and shitting on things because other people are shitting on it that have 2 million subs.
They'll watch someone else's and say
about
it, you know, and they just take their
and take their thoughts.
We're just saying
right.
what we think about it.
Rehash their thoughts. Right. I'm not rehashing shit.
What other people think.
We don't. Me and Big D don't. That's why I go straight random. I do random one cut. I don't edit my fucking videos. I don't edit the shit because I want you to know the real truth. I don't want to cut anything out that I say. Because I said it from the heart. Right.
It's the real rant
review. And Big D, thank you for joining me for this Predator 2 awesome fucking rant. It was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I can't wait for the next rant. I think it's going to be Batman, right? I think we're going to cover the new Batman, guys. So stay tuned for that rant. Oh, shit. That should be a great one. And, we'll see you soon in the next one, guys. So, Big D, you want to say goodbye to the people? Give them a kiss?
Yep. Goodbye, everybody. I love you lots, and I'll be on here again one day soon, hopefully.
Oh, yes, we will have you back. Thank you, Big D. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for joining us.